بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. So far we done up to, so we started off with the definition of speech, kalam in Arabic, to say it gives it's murakkab, it gives a complete meaning and so forth. Then we done it's made up of from three types of words, which and there's no fourth type, and these words are ism, fail, harf. And then we looked at the signs of each one of them. How do we know if it is ism, then fail, and harf? And obviously these lists, like Hussein asked end of the lesson, these are not, like I mentioned, these are not the exhaustive list of signs. For example, fail mudare, he hasn't mentioned. For example, fail mudare, we have alif, additional alif for first person. Adribu, nadribu, noon, or yadribu, or tadribu. So these are also additional signs, but he hasn't mentioned everything because obviously it's a beginner's book, so it's not supposed to be fully inclusive. So now he's we done harf, so I'm gonna quickly read harf because I think a couple of you wasn't here at the end, so it's important. So I'll quickly read it myself, and then I'll quickly explain it, then we move on. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. قال المؤلف رحمه الله تعالى نفع الله به وبعلومه في الدارين. الحرف قال والحرف ما لا يصلح معه دليل الاسم ولا دليل الفعل. So قال, so the Ibn Ajrum, he says the harf is that which doesn't fit the signs of, doesn't have the signs of ism or fail. And then the sharih, the Abdul Hamid says وَأَقُولُ, and I say in commentary يتميز الحرف عن أخويه الاسم والفعل بأنه لا يصح دخول علامات من علامات الأسماء المتقدمة ولا غيرها عليها.
غيرها.
So I say that the harf is distinguished from its brothers ism and fail, that it does not accept any signs of the isms which have come before, mutaqaddima is what's preceded, and other than that, so indicating that there's other signs which he hasn't mentioned. So it doesn't contain any signs of the ism, and likewise كما لا يصح دخول علامات من علامات الأفعال التي سبق بيانها ولا بيانها وغيرها عليه. من غيرها ولا غيرها عليها. So likewise, it doesn't accept a sign from the signs of af'al, which we have mentioned before. Sabaqa biyanuha, so it's mentioned, have preceded, and other than these signs, wala ghayriha alayhi. Wa mithlu, misal of examples is min, hal, lam. So these three are haruf because لأنها لا تقبل al ولا tanween. So here I mentioned they don't accept like al or tanween, and they don't accept harf jar, and for example, he says we can't say al min, we can't say manun, sorry, minun, we can't say ila min, so we can't have the harf jar before harf jar, and likewise the remaining haruf, as in you could apply when it says al min, you could say al hal, we can't say that, al lam, we can't say that, and so forth. And then he says then they don't accept the signs of fi'l, and examples is they don't take seen at the start or sofa at the start, or qad, and so forth. Now moving on, now what he's going to do is he's going to mention we're going to start a new chapter which is on Arab. Arab is how the words change. Essentially, in English, in Haywood, they call it declension, I believe, or something like that. It means how the ending of the words change in different states: raf, nasb, and jar, and jazm, and so forth. So it starts off. The author Ibn Ajrum starts off with a brief sentence, which then the Shari expands by saying the Arab will have two types of meaning, again linguistically and technically. Linguistically, Arab means to make something apparent, essentially, and in technically it means the ending of the state, ending of the state. Changing of the state of the word ends. So from making a rough nasb, because we change the endings to change it from yadribu to yadriba to zaydun to zaydan or zaydin. So the endings change, the ahwal change, and so forth. And sometimes these endings are apparent. So these endings are what was lafzan means articulated. So for example, we say daraba zaydun bakran. So here we say zaydun, there's two dhammas at the end, and bakran. But if you say daraba Musa, so there's this is what known as taqdiran. It's marfu, daraba Musa zaydan. So here Musa is the fa'il, but we can't put dhamma at the end. Because he may go through the reasons why. The reasons are the azzur, which means the word can't accept dhamma, or words doesn't accept harakas. So this is like the mud of alif, Musa, Isa, right? The mud of prolongation after fatha doesn't accept haraka. Musa, Isa, Yas'a, which is a fail, and so forth. So inshallah we'll start reading slowly, but eventually he will start to go through how do we spot when the word should have dhamma, kasra, and so forth. So which I think would be quite interesting. We'll start off. Hussein, you want to start off?
Inshallah, yeah. Bismillah. Qala Babul I'rabi Al-I'rabu Huwa. So he's saying, he said, I'rab, a declension is Taghyiru Awa
No, it's not taghyiru, it's taghyiru.
Taghyiru.
The scale of taf'ilu. Bab, second, allama yu'allimu ta'limun. That's the bab, master of the taghyiru.
Taghyiru Awa Khirid Qalimi. لاختلاف العوامل الداخلة عليها لفظا أو تقديرا. Okay. He said, I'rab declension is changes of the endings of the words due to different for awamili, I put 8,
different
agents,
agents. Okay, that's fine.
agents,
Mhm.
used agents, used agents upon it, i.e. upon the words.
Mm.
So the last bit I wasn't fully sure, but I put spoken or decreed. So lafzan or takdiran.
Mm. So, like I mentioned here, love don't mean these these changes at the end, which you mentioned. There's going to be changes at the end. First of all, these changes when he says taghiru awakhir al kalimi, why he means the commentator will explain when he says awakhir al kalimi, he means ahwal awakhir al kalimi, states of the word endings. Because if you take it literally, he says the changing of the word endings, the words don't change. Zaydun doesn't become Zay.
Yeah.
Zayban or Zayjan, or it becomes, it's still Zayd, becomes
Yeah.
Zayd, from Zaydun it becomes Zaydan. So the states change from being rough to nasab and so forth. And lafzan here means that which you can articulate. Like I mentioned, Zaydun, Zaydan, Zaydin. But when he says Musa, for example, you can't say Musun, Musan, Musin. It's just going to be Musa. So that's why it means taqdeeran.
Sorry, what was the takdiran? Takdiran is
I got inferred.
Yeah, inferred. That's a good word. Yeah, you could say inferred.
Because when I was doing it, I thought it meant, when we did obviously we talk about obviously the state of depending obviously for the Dhamma Qasra. So I thought that was the kind of the lafzan example. And then for inferred, does it also include when we have, say, ina, una, are those also inferred, or would they come under the apparent ones?
They are apparent ones.
Okay.
Because here taqdeeran, like I said, you mentioned when you look at the word, you can't tell, you can't put dhamma on it, or you can't put kasra on it, or you can't put any other signs on it. You only gotta know through the context.
But what about diptotes where they look the same for accusative and genitive? Which category would they fall under?
So they fall under lafzan. But i'rab, you may go through it later. There's two types of i'rab. There's one munsarif, which is completely changes, and then there's ghair munsarif, which partially changes.
Right.
But it'll be lafzan because you still can say misru and misra, as opposed to just saying misr. You still can say two of the harakas, so it does change. But
And,
it's known as
sorry for more questions.
go for
is this chapter applying to all words, including harf as well, or is it just to ism and fa'il?
So harf are mabni, so they don't change.
Okay, that's why I was asking, because again I thought they didn't change, so so they wouldn't fall within this kind of this section wouldn't really apply to them all because they don't change anyway.
Yeah, essentially, they don't change anyway, so it doesn't apply. But you may go through a section called mabni,
Okay.
which would go through things like that. But yeah, it won't come under this section because harf just don't.
Do the fails change then? The Arab on the fails changes.
GG.
Oh. Thought it was only the isms.
Well, mudare mansoob.
Yeah, but they are fixed, aren't they? If you don't say it in the right way, then
No. You know, when you said fi'l mudare, we read fi'l mudare ma'roof, we read fi'l mudare majzoom
Yes.
bilam,
yes.
lam adrib.
Yes.
So it was adribu, it became adrib.
Adrib.
Jazm.
It came spoon.
Yeah. Or we say lan adriba, so became mansoob. So they change.
Right.
They don't take jar. So okay. So ism they take they become marfu,
Nasab
mansoob,
and jar.
and majroor.
Mm.
And the fi'l they become either marfu, yadribu, or they become mansoob, yadriba,
Driba.
or they become majzoom, yadrib.
Right.
Okay,
So they don't come majroor.
they don't become majroor. The
Okay.
same way the ism doesn't become majzoom.
Right. Okay.
Inshallah. Carry on, Hussein.
وقولوا الإعراب له معنيان. And I say the declension Irab has two meanings.
Yeah, it's ma'nayani. Muslimani.
Oh. أحدهما
أحدهما
أحدهما لغو
مم.
لغو وال
لغوي
لغوي
like Pakistani or Bangladeshi.
لغوي
Mhm.
والآخر
وال-
is
مم. والآخر
والآخر
okay.
والآخر اصطلاحي.
Mhm.
The first of them is the linguistic meaning.
Mhm.
Is the linguistic meaning. The other is technical.
Yeah.
I think we said meaning by grammar, I think.
That's yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. أما معناه في اللغة فهو, its meaning in linguistics is الإظهار والإبانة.
Mhm.
Okay, so here its meaning in linguistics is expression and show, or expression and expression.
So
Couldn't
it
get the
may
exact.
carry on. Who wanted to say something?
Yeah, no, I couldn't get the meaning here correct. So the meanings I could find were
Is it
expression.
like to make a? Is Harun to make apparent
Mm.
and to express?
Yeah, zahir karna, like in Urdu we say. So it's to make something apparent, essentially. The words very similar meaning.
So which one's the apparent one? Zahir is apparent.
Is Harun.
It's Harun, yeah.
Mm.
They both are very similar in meaning. So essentially, it depends. So Ibana, he has like to explain, expound, to distinguish, to make clear, evident, and so forth, to express distinctly. So similar meaning.
So why would you write it twice? That's the thing.
So izhar is probably more general. Ibana is probably more to do with speech, to make your speech, because if you look at the translation is things like explain, express, bayan karna, right? Same root letters.
Okay, so just recap. Its meaning in linguistics is apparent.
In language, you could say, because lughati is not. First, it was a lughawiyun. This is just lughati. So lugha just means in language, or that's fine linguistically is okay as well. Okay.
Is apparent
To make something apparent. Zahir means apparent. Izhar means to make something apparent
Right.
or
Okay.
to express.
Yeah. To make something apparent and to express. Taqulu. If it is said, taqulu.
Not you say.
You say. Rabtu. Arabtu. I say. I expressed. Amma fi. Nafsi.
Mm.
I expressed from what was in me, in myself. Iza aban tahu wa azhar tahu.
Mm.
Meaning, again, it's saying its meaning is the expression from within it, basically.
No, if you translate, he says abantahu. Abanta is past tense, like the rabta. I know what you're saying, but
Yeah, the translations.
is when abantahu, when you express it, abanta, you express, who refers to the amma bi nafsi. So when you express it, wa azhartahu, and when you make it apparent. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Second.
Hanan, you wanna read?
Okay.
وأما معناه في الاصطلاح فهو ما ذكره المؤلف بقوله. Not as for its meaning in terminology, it is what the author mentions by saying
Mentioned, yeah.
تغيير أواخر الكلام إلى
Kalimi.
كلمة.
Mm.
Well, it changes the last word, and the last word I got it as etc.
So yeah, alif lam and kha here means ilal akhir, to the end. So what they say is because the author the said obviously said the full definition. So normally what they do is they just give you the start and they say alif lam and kha means ilal akhir, to the end.
I couldn't understand what that was. I was looking all over the place. What's this al-kha? Il-kha.
Ilha. Isn't it in a dictionary?
I couldn't find it.
That's fine.
والمقصود
Ji.
من تغيير أواخر الكلمة what is meant from changing the last word. تغيير
Kalimi, words, plural.
words. تغيير أخوال أواخر الكلمة changing the conditions of the last words.
Yeah. What does it mean by conditions?
The state.
Yeah, like normative,
Yeah.
accusative, genitive.
Yeah. Do you remember the Arabic terms? Inshallah.
Rafa nasab jar.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Carry on.
I can't remember it when it's my turn.
ولا يؤقل
Mm.
أن يراد تغيير نفس الأواخر but it is not reasonable. It's not reasonable that you want to change.
So here, it means wala yuqalu. It means it doesn't make sense, or it doesn't make sense. Akal, right? Akal mean no. It doesn't make sense. An yurada. This is passive. Majhul, because the active is arada yuridu. This is a passive. That and what's the naib? This taghyir is naib file. It doesn't make sense that changing of the ending itself is meant, yurad, like you could say, is meant or intended. And what's the amil of what's the yurad here is the noun. What's the amil? An.
Yeah.
What does that do?
Make him mansub.
Make it mansub. So it's an yurada تغيير نفس الأواخر. And what's the عامل for نفس تغيير is مرفوع تغيير is مضاف, نفس is مضاف إليه, and then نفس is مضاف and أواخر is مضاف إليه. So it's أن يراد تغيير نفس الأواخر. It doesn't make sense that the changing of the ending itself is intended. So he's saying the word doesn't change itself. You know, the ba doesn't change into jim or ya. That's not what is meant. Carry on.
فإن آخر الكلمات نفسه لا يتغير لا يتغير. So the changing of the conditions of the last word is
So look, فإن, so because verily آخر الكلمات, ending of the word is مضاف مضاف إليه. فإن makes the آخرة. Then that's mudaf. The kalima is the mudaf ilayhi. So فإن آخر الكلمات, verily the ending of the word نفسه itself, the word itself, لا the ending of the word itself, نفسه لا يتغير, doesn't change. Because look, you know, before when it says والمقصود من تغيير أواخر الكلمة, what is intended from the changing of the last ending of the words is تغيير أحوال أواخر الكلمة, states of the ending of the words. Because ولا يعقل أن يراد تغيير نفس الأواخر, because it doesn't make sense for it to intend the changing of the ending itself, because the ending of the word itself doesn't change. Right? That's the explanation of all that from wala yuqal. Wala yuqal is just explaining up to la yataghayyaru. Does that make sense? No.
No.
Carry on.
تغيير أحوال أواخر
Mhm.
الكلمات عبارة عن تحولها من الرفع إلى النصب أو الحذف. But, and the changes and the changing the conditions of the final words, phrases. We've got something like that transform
Mhm.
it from nominative to accusative or genitive.
Mm. Yeah, that's fine. Read the Arabic again.
وتغيير أحوال ظواهر الكلمات.
So تغيير is mudaf, because we're saying changing of the states of the
Condition.
endings of the
أحوال
word. This is all mudaf like up to there.
أحوال
Mhm.
ظواهر الكلمات
Mhm.
عبارة عن
Ibaratun. This is the khabar of all that.
عبارة
Ibaratun.
عبارة عن تحولها
تحولها. عن is harf jar. It's عامل harf jar. تحولها.
تحولها من الرفع
من what type of word is that?
الرفع
من رفعي. Mhm.
الرفع إلى النصب
Mhm.
أو الجر.
أو الجر.
حقيقة.
So these حقيقة أو حكما.
The truth or sorry for handwriting. I got the rules.
No, حقيقة means
Reality.
reality. Yeah. So what we said loves than before, it's when it's apparent. Hukman is when you can't see the change, but you know it's there.
I got fact or ruling.
I got judgment for Hukman. Maybe it's wrong.
Awesome.
I got in reality or command.
Reality or
Or instruction command.
no. So it means حقيقة, like I said, when you say Zaydun, Zaydan, Zaydin, and then you have so حقيقة he's like saying lovdan here, and and then the other one, which is hukman. Hukman normally means you get different meanings, but it means in ruling. So its rule is its file, right? Musa or Isa or some of these words, we know that they are file or maf'ul. So we know the hukman. So in terms of ruling, they are marfu or mansub or majroor, depending on what's the word before them. But you know, it's hukman in ruling because we can't see the change at the end. Does that make sense?
How do you mean we can't see the change in the end?
Yeah, what does that mean?
So look, daraba,
Hmm.
bakrun, right? Zaydan.
Right.
So you tell me which word is mansub and which one is marfu, which one is mansub?
Zaidan is marfu and
No. Opposite.
Zaidun. Zaidun, you said.
Zaydun is
Daraba Zaidun Bakran. So Zaidun is marfu and Bakran is nasab
okay. How do you know that?
because it's got two dhammas and two fathas on it.
Yeah. So you know Zaydun is marfu because it has two dhammas, so you know it's nominative. And Zaydan, you know it's mansub because it has two fathas. Now if I say daraba Zaydun Musa.
Oh, it still
Musa.
means Musa is being heti. Musa is
Yeah, but how
is
do you know
mansub
Musa is mansub?
because the hitter is Zaid.
You know,
So the other guy must be.
that's what means hukman. Hukman means you can't see the ending.
Oh, I
You can't
see.
see Bakran. There's no Musan. It's Musa. Even if Musa was hitting, if you say Daraba, Musa,
Hmm.
Zaydan, it's still
Right.
change, the ending
Yeah.
doesn't change.
Oh, I see.
In when they say lafzan in terms of articulation, we don't articulate the ending. But we know in our brain, in hukum wise, it's there.
Right. Okay. So that's what hukum means. It means words which don't change, and you have to use them in context. I
No,
suppose.
obviously hukum means different contexts, but in this context, that's what it means. Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay, Hanan. That's up to this fine. Uncle, you wanna?
Yeah.
So we have
Why not?
two more. No, actually, you can. How many people we got left to read? Just so two people have read. So Safran and Uncle.
Well, what about you? You're the third person as well.
I've already read the al-harf.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Actually, Hussein, you could just finish off to the end of the thingy
Paragraph.
paragraph. I thought there was 3 people to read, so yeah, that's fine. 2 people, so that's okay.
ويكون هذا التحول
تقبلوا yeah, تحولوا, yeah, the same.
تحول
This is the master of Form 5.
Form 5. I guess that. بسبب تغيير بسبب تغيير العوامل
عوامل.
So yeah, I couldn't get the exact translation here. So this taking
So before you translated the hawul as transformation. When you say so when you say the ending,
no?
you didn't say tahawul. It means transformation or change. That's what it means. If you didn't say it before.
I put taking two, as in changing, taking two.
So which change is talking about? He's talking about يكون هذا تحول. What change is talking about?
It's talking about the ending of the
yeah, from raf to nasb to jar. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the translation isn't correct. That's something else. No, I don't think anything valid here.
So look, ويكون هذا تحول. So this change is bisababi, is due to تغيير الأوامل, changing of the awamil, changing of the agents, like you mentioned earlier. So if there's what it means the words which are governing the words which are changing. So if there's harf jar before Zaid becomes Zaidin, that's so the harf jar there is amil, right? Or if it's an before a word, or anna, it makes it mansub. Again, an or anna here is the agent. Or if it's a verb will hadara Zaidun bakran. So is hadara here is the agent. It's the amil which is acting upon Zaidun and bakran. So that's what it means. But essentially it means the word which is affecting the change, which is causing the change.
Okay, so that sentence is basically saying the amil, the agent is due to the agent, isn't it? Due to the agent. This transformation is due to the agent. I think that's what it's trying to say.
Due to the changes in the agent. So these transformation from words changing from different states is due to due to the differences or changes in the awamils agents.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Min amili. Is that correct? Amili.
Min amilin.
Amilin. يقتدي الرفع على الفاعلية
الفعالية.
فعالية
مم.
أو نحوها نحوها from the amils, from the agents. I'm not sure what يقتدي means.
Necessitates. Sorry.
Requires. That's why I
Requires.
put
Yeah, requires. That's fine.
Requires al-rafa, as in it necessitates.
It necessitates the rough state, a rough R. So yaqtadi, it goes to amil. So the amil requires a rough R. The rough.
Okay. The rough state, and then I got ala 2. Al no. This is wrong as well. So basically, I think what it's trying to say is, the amil requires the rafa state upon the files.
I think requires not probably the right word. I would say necessitate, or if somebody else had another word. So the amil necessitates rough or causes rough upon the fa'iliyah, upon it being file.
As in the verbs, file verbs, or
No, what's file?
file.
Daraba Zaidun.
The doers.
Yeah.
The doers. Yeah, the doers. The doers. Fa'ilun. Fa'ilatin. Fa'ilatin. Okay. The doers, or نحوها
نحوها على الفاعلية أو نحوها or it's like. So even the khabar is normally ala khabariyati or something like that, right? So also makes him rough when they have subject and object.
إلى آخر يقتدي يقتدي النصب النصب على مفوليتي. Is that right? مفوليتي.
مفعوليتي.
مفوليتي. Or same thing again. نحويها. So for the ending which necessitates or requires
So إلى آخر, it means بسبب تغيير الأوامر من عامل, right? You remember من عامل is connected to that. من عامل from a agent which necessitates the rough upon the it being a subject, or it's like to another. So min and ila come, so normally come together, right? Have to min al bayti. I went from a house ila al masjid to the mosque. So here I saying min, when you mentioned min amilin before, few words before. So he was staying from an amil, which necessitates I can't say the word, man. Rough upon it being a subject, or it's like to akharat means another amil. So you're talking about the second amil line.
Oh, to another one. Yeah.
Yaqtadi
To
nasba.
another. Okay. Yaqtadi an-nasba. To another causing the nasab upon maful. What's this now? Brain's gone like the object basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or of it likewise, basically.
Yeah. So for example, if the word is an before it, it still be mansoob.
And
Yeah.
yes.
But it'll be because of ism of inna is mansoob, for example. Right.
Waha lumma alumma jiran.
Jarran.
Jarran.
It means to continue like that, or and so on. It means and so on.
Oh, right, okay. Couldn't find this word at all.
Yeah. It's an expression they say halumma jarran. It means to so on.
Okay.
Okay. Safran, or uncle. I think, do you guys read the at the end most of the time, or is he just?
Yeah, I always end up reading the last.
Okay, you could read this then. Next time
Shall
we
we
start.
pray Maghrib first and then come back? Or do you
Oh
want
yeah, sorry, it's Maghrib time. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
Done.